Okay, so I don't know if you've ever got drunk and then told someone that you hated them, or told someone that you loved them, or insulted your boss perhaps, and then you phoned up the next day and said, I didn't mean it, I was drunk. And everybody knows you did mean it, because being drunk is to strip away all the inhibitions and to say what you really mean and get to the essence of who you really are. Now, I think the internet does a similar thing. I think, for the better or worse, it brings out people. If they're bad, it makes them awful, and if they're good, it's a great thing. So I wanted to tell a story about when the internet does something good, because we hear so many stories about when the internet does something bad. So this came about when a librarian friend of mine blogged about what to buy a librarian for Christmas. In case you're wondering, it's not a fucking cardigan, it's gin. We all love gin, okay? But one of the things she found out is that you can buy a library in India for 1,250 quid, which is an extraordinary amount of money to build a library and even get staff in it for 2 years. So I tweeted about this, and an American librarian said, I've not got 1,250 quid, but maybe we could raise it together. And so what happened was, me and 2 American librarians and a Danish librarian decided we'd try and crowdsource enough money to build a whole library in India using social media. So we gave it a hashtag, because everybody needs a hashtag, it's the most important thing in the world, and it was called ByLib. And we just said to people, there's so many libraries closing around the world, why don't we actually open one? So we set about thinking, how can we persuade people to donate money to this thing without really annoying them? Because we all had existing networks of people on social media. We didn't want to bug them too much, but at the same time we wanted to raise the profile of the project that we were doing. So we wrote 10 blog posts about it, and we tried to get people to tweet about it, because if they tweeted about it, they would reach their networks and go beyond our networks. So the blog post got a lot of views. There was 430 tweets worth of tweets with the ByLib hashtag, and it worked really well. There was a little bit of controversy along the way, because some Americans said, why are you giving money to foreign libraries when there are libraries closing over here? To which the answer was, 1,250 will make naff all difference to an American library, whereas it will build one in India. And some people said, why don't you raise money for a well or something more useful? To which the answer was, we couldn't get the momentum of librarians crowdsourcing a well, because it's not to do with libraries. So we had to go with what we had. You've got to go with what works. So what happened was 100 people donated the money. And the most common gift was 20 quid, which is amazing. So the people who didn't even know, from all over the world, from Europe, from Australia, from America, from Canada, they pressed the PayPal button. And do you know what we raised in 2 weeks? Anyone want to have a guess? Excellent, that worked well. £2,420. So that's an enormous amount of money for people to just give to other people to do something. So to put it another way, that makes it sound like a bigger amount, even though it's the same, we raised $4,000 in 2 weeks. I'll be honest with you, I don't have 15 seconds worth of stuff for this slide, so I'm hoping the next one's going to come along soon. So what we did was we gave the Rural Health and Literacy Program in India the money, and they do stuff with like children, getting children aid, getting children out of the child labour stuff, and water and literacy and stuff. And they went and they built a library. And because we'd raised more money than we needed, they built an extra big library with more books. And when they just build the standard library, it's all non-fiction books, because people need to learn about the world. If you buy some picture books for the kids to read as well, which is really nice. And so it was an extra big library in Mysore, attached to a school on the edge of a slum. And I think this is an absolutely brilliant thing. So just to clarify what I'm saying here, there didn't used to be a library, and then we asked Twitter for money, and now there is a library. Don't you think that's amazing? I just thought it was absolutely brilliant. So we did this, and I can't remember what's coming next. Yeah, if you were to walk through that door now, it's 3 a.m. in India, so probably wouldn't be worth doing. But if you were to go back tomorrow morning, there would be books and furniture and a person to help the kids learn to read and do activities and stuff in that room there, which wasn't there before, which is absolutely incredible. So, because we raised more money than we needed, we were also able to buy some donkey-drawn libraries to go around Uganda, Somalia, which is absolutely amazing. So they're literally donkeys dragging books around. People take the books, and then 3.5 years later they give them back when the donkey next makes its pass, which is amazing. And Andromeda Yelton, who was one of the librarians involved, said this quote, which I thought was nice: "The world's full of ambient goodness, waiting for the right idea to make it happen." You just have to make it easy for people to be good, and they'll do that. I think it's a fantastic thing. So, if you're interested in knowing more about the ByLib project, that's the other thing. Social media is what gave us the ability to find these people and to connect with these people. So I think social media, for all its dark sides, is really fantastic for this kind of thing. There is a Buy India Library blog. This isn't a pitch. We've finished. Don't give us any money now. I'm just saying, if you want to read about it, you can do that there. And Good Gifts is the charity through which we bought the library. So if you want to buy your own library for India, you can do that. And I wanted to leave you with a kind of Jerry Springer style final thought, which is go out and find the happy drunks, the people who are really good. Because if you've got even half an idea for something that might make a difference in some way, just go and find the people who can make it happen, because it feels amazing when you just do something and everyone responds and something happens. So thank you very much for listening.